Welcome everybody, it's Business Monday, it's the Small Biz Fuel feature. I'm Josh Fenton, CEO and co-founder of GoLocal. With me today is Brian Thibodeau, not related to the former assistant head coach of the Boston Celtics, but is the man behind Bay Business Machines in Lincoln, Rhode Island. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Josh.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. You run the entire state of Rhode Island. You're the guy behind all the support systems selling in on Konica Minolta machines into the workplace.
We are a privately owned dealership located in Lincoln. We've been in business since 1985. And we do sell all things Konica Minolta. Anything that prints out of your computer or scans into your computer, we can provide it.
That's great. And where's the industry going? You know, I think offices have changed, work has changed, work from home, no more cubicles, maybe back to cubicles, nobody can quite decide. How have your products changed and transformed over the past, let's just say 10 years?
I would say, once the transformation to digital happened, we had the ability to not only print things out, but we can scan documents in. And we are trying to gather more of that business where people are trying to go paperless, trying to convert your paper documents into digital files. So all of our equipment has the ability to scan documents into your computer and your networks.
And what are you seeing from the trend standpoint? You work with mid-sized businesses, law firms, accounting firms, professional services, but wider than that as well. What are you seeing as the trends of what the customer looking for?
The customer wants local customer service.
Yeah.
I think that's really the bottom line. They need service today. They need local representatives to be able to do that, and we provide that. They need toner today because they didn't realize they didn't have that spare toner in the closet.
Nobody can identify with that we have a huge presentation that has to get out the door this afternoon, and we just realized it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and we have not the toner that's the right one for the machine.
Exactly. And we certainly can provide that 2-hour turnaround. You can come pick it up at our office.
Don't encourage them.
No. Right. Of course.
And have you seen your business, your share of the sort of the pie grow over the past decade or so?
It certainly has. We've grown significantly as a company. I'm not sure that the piece of the pie we're gathering is from net new business coming into Rhode Island, but our revenues have more than doubled in the last 5 years.
That's great. And where do you see, is there a business sector that you're seeing more growth in? Is it, small law firms? Is it technology firms? Where's the growth?
I'm not sure that there's any growth in the paper output necessarily, but law firms, accounting firms are scanning, digitizing all of their files. They're even going back years. Some accounting firms are going back, 5, 6, 7 years.
To get rid of the storage costs, get rid of the boxes, stop losing stuff, all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
You've got a new building in Lincoln. You worked with Commerce RI, Freedom Bank, and the seed program, right?
Exactly.
And how was that experience?
It was tremendous. We Freedom National Bank brought seed to the table to help us finance the new building that we bought back in October, and it was a pleasure to work with them. Everything was seamless. A couple meetings, and we were clear to close.
That's great.
Shortly after that.
Hiring?
Yes, we are hiring. That new building gave us the infrastructure to more than double our number of employees. So we are in the market for sales reps, and then subsequent to that, we'll have.
So here's your free ad for sales reps. What are you looking for in a sales representative for your firm?
The key is that they buy in. When they come in, we want to make sure we're hiring somebody that has the same core values that we do. When they're out there, they're representing me, they're representing my business. They've got to have those same values when they're talking to those customers, and what they tell the customer we can provide.
And are you looking for college grads, non-college grads?
It doesn't necessarily have to be a college grad. Certainly sales reps don't have to have a bachelor's degree to sell. As a matter of fact, I'm sure some of the best are not college educated.
Right.
So no, not necessary.
Right. That college debt just gets in the way of hustle. Uh, and, as I ask everybody, sort of, what's your biggest challenge? What's the stress point? What's the thing that,
Well, when you make a hire, you're investing in that person, and the biggest stress point is that whoever it is that is managing that person, it really takes a lot of time,
Right.
to manage that person and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it takes away from the other things that we could be doing making money. That would be our biggest pain point right now, quite honestly.
yeah. Listen, it's completely consistent with almost everybody who comes in here. We've had companies that have tens of thousands of employees on Business Monday, down to folks that have 2 employees and are looking to add the third. It's the same issue across the board. Concerns about the depth of the workforce, and coupled with the amount of time necessary to be able to onboard them in a systematic way, and then the complexity of just a different work culture today, in which somebody might come on, you might invest all the time and energy, and then they go, after 6 months, it's not for me, but thanks so much, I'll catch you later, kind of situation, which, in our generation is unheard of, that you would ever leave first after just a year, right? You would always stay a year, at least 2 on your first year. And second of all, that if you left, you would transition over weeks, if not months, to give that employer all the proper time to be able to staff appropriately. Those things don't happen anymore. People shoot around, find what's good for them, and they want that work-life balance.
Sure, for sure.
From your standpoint, you're both, a support system, a technology company, a service company. Where do you see your industry going, and what's the advice you have to somebody who's contemplating calling you up and saying, or calling your competitor up and asking what they should be looking for?
We touched a little bit earlier on the local presence. You need to make sure that this isn't an Amazon product that you can buy.
Right.
You can't have this dropped off by a drone and then plug it into your network and away we go. There's a lot of support that goes on from the day it's installed all the way through the life cycle of the machine. And you need to have that local presence. And if you're calling a sales office from one of the larger manufacturers that all they have in Rhode Island is a sales office,
Right.
you're going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place when you don't have that local support. There are a few local dealers like us, and that's certainly the route you want to go if you want that personal, old-fashioned type of business relationship.
Yeah, listen, I think everybody does. They can't absorb the delays of a week's time to get something shipped in. If you're out of toner and you've got major presentations due the next morning, you need toner.
Right.
You're not waiting for hoping and praying that Staples or somebody else can get it over to you, or that your competitor who's bringing it in from some warehouse in New Jersey.
Correct.
And suggestions you have, you've been in business for a while. I think, a lot of people who are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs are wondering about, what's the best way to build a business? What's your suggestion?
It's been a lot of years, and I look back, and the biggest thing I think is really the relationships. Gaining relationships with numerous amounts of people. And I've done that through networking. I've done it through, I've been on numerous boards, nonprofit boards. And you build that network of people and support system, and they turn into a referral source for you. And I think that's, in my business, that it's very important, because there's got to be a trust factor there. And you don't gain that trust overnight. It takes years to gain that trust.
And you never work past 5 o'clock as a CEO, and you've never worked on a weekend, correct?
No.
Never, no, neither of those things. When was the last weekend you didn't work?
Well, during the summer, all bets are off. But no, we will work, especially not during the summer. In the off times of the summer, we will definitely work on Saturdays to get things done. You can do what you got to do to get the job done.
Last bit, advice for folks looking to start a business in Rhode Island.
You've got to, make sure you're finding the right business to be in.
Yeah.
Do your research, figure out where there's a need out there in Rhode Island for a product or for a service. and work hard. Work hard at it, and you'll be fine. But I think you have to find the right product, though.
Brian, listen, thanks so much. Stay right
Thank
here.
you.
We're going to be back around 3:30 with Gary Sass, the money man. We're going to be talking about everything from City of Providence issues on to across the pond, how the president did over the G7, and also why is the stock market bouncing back so strongly after a meltdown on Friday. We'll look at all those issues. Tune back in at 3:30 with Gary Sass. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.